Hey everybody, Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the Rough Country 3.5-inch Series 2 bolt-on suspension lift kit with the M1 monotube shocks and rear leaf springs, fitting 2005 to 2023 four-wheel drive Tacomas. If you're looking for a comprehensive way to get more height for off-roading or larger wheels and tires at a more budget-friendly price, you're going to want to check out this kit from Rough Country. This is a bolt-on, all-inclusive lift kit that's going to get you 3.5 inches of extra height while also leveling out the stance of your truck and maintaining stock-type ride quality. Plus, it allows you to keep your original suspension geometry so everything works as it's intended. Now, of course, as the name would dictate, this is a 3.5-inch lift. So this is gonna provide you enough clearance to run some larger wheels and tires on your truck as well. Some beefy 33s are gonna fit on here with no issue. But if you wanna go any larger, say 34s or 35s especially, some modification may be required because you're gonna have some issues with rubbing. So for that reason, we're gonna recommend sticking with 33-inch tires for this kit. Now there's a lot to talk about here. As you can see, I got a lot of stuff on the table. So we'll start out up front. One of the first things you'll notice are a set of Rough Country's heavy-duty upper control arms. Now these are forged aluminum arms, so they're pretty lightweight, and they include new Clevite rubber bushings at the mounting points. So they're going to provide excellent absorption of road impacts. Again, they're pretty lightweight, but they have a lot of structural integrity to them, enough to hold up to pretty much whatever abuse you can think to throw at them. Now you might have also noticed that you've got new ball joints in here, and they are angled to accommodate for the lift. So despite adding quite a bit of height, these are going to keep things pretty close to your factory suspension geometry, which is going to help you maintain good ride quality, provide for a full range of motion as well, and everything is going to work as it should, so you can really take advantage of the additional height. But what's actually going to get you the additional height up front are the set of Rough Country's M1 loaded struts. So these are going to combine with those control arms, again, to give you 3.5 inches of lift in the front end. And as you can see, these came right out of the box as they are, so they come pre-assembled. You don't need to mess with a spring compressor for the sake of assembly. They just bolt right in, new top hats and everything. Now these do actually feature the ability to adjust the height. So should you want to lower them down a little bit, you do have the option to do that. Underneath of the spring perch here, there are some snap rings and different grooves in the body of the shock. Though that job is going to require some disassembly, you're going to need a spring compressor tool to do that. You're going to have to pull this apart, drop the snap ring down, and put everything back together accordingly. Now the M1s are one of Rough Country's more premium shock options, and they feature nitrogen charging plus infinitely variable damping. So this is gonna give you a really smooth, controlled type of ride. It's gonna be a little bit firmer than stock. Now keep in mind that these are designed for lifted applications, and thus the damping is gonna be changed accordingly. So these are tuned to give you a smooth ride out on the road. They're gonna be nice and controlled, and they have self-adjusting deflective disc valves inside, plus independent rebound and compression adjustments. All of that is done automatically. So these are gonna do a really good job of absorbing impacts and controlling rebound out on the trail. They are gonna be a little bit firmer on the street than your stock setup though, so just keep that in mind. That nitrogen charging does help with heat dissipation as well, so if you're doing some more aggressive off-roading, if you've got some washboard type of conditions that you're running over, these aren't gonna suffer from fade. And that means, of course, that you can use them to their full extent without worrying about that fade or losing control of your truck. Now in the rear, we've got a set of upgraded leaf springs to get you that extra height. So this is gonna get the rear of the truck nice and level with the front. These are some beefy springs, of course, and it just adds the evidence that this is a really substantial kit. Now these are going to give you about a 3-inch lift overall in the rear, again functioning as a leveling kit to even out the stance of your truck, so the front and rear are going to sit pretty much even with one another. Now you also get a matching set of Rough Country's M1 monotube shocks in the rear, so these are going to pair very well with the shocks in the front end, and again that's going to help keep everything in check, maintain good ride quality and really good performance. Like the front struts, these are again nitrogen charged, and they feature that infinitely variable damping and the self-adjusting deflective discs inside. So this is again going to give you that smooth controlled ride that you're looking for. It'll be a little bit firmer than stock, but then you've got a nice set of shocks both front and rear that are going to match up very well. Now construction here is all quite solid. As I mentioned, the control arms up front are made from forged aluminum for strength and weight savings. There's no seams or welds to break on these, so you can be sure that they're strong. They again feature brand new Clevite rubber bushings and brand new ball joints, and those ball joints are actually greasable using that Zerk fitting that goes right under these caps here. Now the front and rear shocks have a massive 2-inch extruded tube with a 46mm bore and an 18mm hardened chrome piston rod. So these again are really solid pieces. An 18mm piston rod in a shock like this is not uncommon, but it's nice to see. This is quite beefy. Now the bodies here are finished in a zinc plating for good looks and durability. You get new top hats and springs up front. The springs are cold wound, of course, and they are finished with a nice black powder coating. And we've got the aforementioned mentioned leaf springs, which come preloaded with new bushings on either end accordingly as well. So these are ready to bolt in just like your front struts. And you get all the hardware that you need to get the kit fitted right out of the box, including some differential spacers, which are milled from aluminum. Pricing for this kit comes in at about $1,400, and for all that you're getting here, now there are of course less expensive options out there, but they're not gonna have all the features like the control arms and the shocks and all of that. They're not gonna have the performance of this kit. Now you could spend a lot more on another kit, but a truck that's gonna see mixed street and trail usage, this is gonna work really well for that kind of application, where you're gonna get the performance, you're gonna get the controlled ride out on the street, but it's not gonna absolutely punish you. You'll still be able to use your truck every day. Installation is gonna get a 3 out of 3, and it's likely gonna take you upwards of 6 hours to complete this job. Now, while you can certainly do this at home in your driveway or garage, especially since everything you need to get it done is included, this is a bit of an involved job. Now, if you aren't necessarily comfortable disassembling suspension components, professional installation is always an option. And we got some pretty heavy duty pieces in this kit, so I might recommend having a friend there to give you a hand, especially if you don't have a lift. But again, you can do this at home. There are no modifications needed to your truck. Just bolt it all on and you're ready to hit the road. Although I will always throw in my little PSA here, once you've got all this stuff on and everything has gotten a day or two to settle, make sure you go and get your truck aligned. That way it drives exactly the way it's supposed to. With that though, let's head over to the install bay and we'll show you how to get this installed on your Tacoma.
For this install, you would need a drill, a 3/8 impact, a 1/2 inch impact, a hammer, a 17, a 21, a 19, a 15, a 14, and a 5mm wrench, a 3/8 ratchet, a 3/8 extension, a 22, 21, and 19 1/2 inch socket, a 19, 17, 14, 12, and 10mm socket, a 25/64 drill bit, needle nose pliers, a grease gun, a hanger tool, a clip removal tool, and a pry bar. And also not shown here would be pole jacks and a reciprocating saw. All right, today we're gonna be installing a lift kit on our Tacoma, so let's get started. All right, now we just need to take our skid plate off to access our front diff bushings. So what we're gonna do is remove 4 12mm bolts going all the way around, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. All right, now there needs to be 2 bushings put on the front control arm bushings, some spacers. In order to do that, you will need to take out this support bracket right here, 4 17mm bolts holding it in. And as you can see, ours is already cut. What you need to do is measure and cut with a reciprocating saw and just notch this out so it gives you enough clearance. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our bolts out for our front diff bushings. So it's gonna be a 22mm head, 19mm nut on top, which is gonna be pretty hard to see, but just grab a 19mm wrench and you can hold that. All right, so now we're gonna get our supplied hardware. We're gonna get our new supplied bolt, put our flat wash over. We're gonna reuse our big washer that goes over our bushing, slide that through. Get your spacer, put that in between the subframe and the diff mount. And then on top, you're gonna have a flat washer and then the supplied nut. Just get that on there hand tight and then do the same thing for the other mount. All right, now we're just gonna tighten them up so it's a 19mm head and a 19mm nut. So just grab your impact and your wrench and tighten them down. All right, let's do the same thing for the other one. All right, so now we have to remove our stock control arm. So we need to remove our bracket here, our ball joint nut here, and then our bolt up here that holds on our upper control arm. All right, so we're gonna grab a ratchet and 10mm socket and take off our bolt that's holding on our bracket. Put put the bracket off to the side for now. All right, now we're gonna take our cotter pin out of our ball joint nut. It should be clipped in on the back. This one just slipped out. But if you need to, just need some use some needle nose pliers. All right, now we're gonna grab our impact in our 19mm socket and loosen our nut for our upper ball joint. We're not gonna take it off all the way yet. We're gonna loosen it with a hammer. Smack a hammer right here. All right, now that that's loose, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up on our knuckle, take our nut all the way off, and then we're gonna use our hanger tool and just hang our knuckle onto our frame here so it doesn't pull tension on the brake line. All right, now I'm gonna grab my clip removal tool and I'm gonna take out a couple push pins right here and here, just to help us get access to our bolt. All right, now we're gonna grab two 19mm wrenches and loosen our bolt and our nut here. We're gonna take our nut and our washer off the back, and then we will need to pull our bolt out forward. You will see here where our fender liner is a little bent up. You will need to manipulate that so you can get the bolt all the way forward, because it is a bolt that reaches the entire length. So it needs to go all the way forward to come out. All right, we'll see it does go behind. Just hold on to the washer and just fish the bolt through. All right, we just leave the bolt there for now. Just grab the control arm and keep a hold of your washer. All right, now we can install our new control arm. Just make sure you have the right side. You will see that the ball joint is angled towards the back, and you'll see the threaded hole for the bracket. So we're just gonna put that into place. Make sure your ABS line goes above. Get our bolt, put our washer on, and start that through. All right, and then grab our other washer and nut. Thread that on. We could just leave that hand tight for right now. All right, now we're gonna put our upper ball joint back into our knuckle. So we're gonna take it off of our hanger. And we're gonna hand thread on our supplied nut. Once again, we're just gonna leave that loose for right now. All right, now we're gonna install our new loaded strut. It's gonna go in the same way the old one came out, in between the axle and the sway bar. All right, we're gonna start tightening everything from the top down. So we're gonna start with our strut mount top. We're gonna put our supplied hardware on there. All right, and we're gonna grab our 15mm ratcheting wrench and tighten them down. All right, then we're gonna grab our two 19mm wrenches and tighten our control arm bolt. All right, and then our ABS wire bracket comes with a supplied 10mm bolt. All right, now we're gonna tighten up our upper ball joint. We're gonna grab a 21mm ratcheting wrench. All right, and while we're here, we gotta grease up our ball joint. So we're gonna grab our grease gun. All right, and once your ball joint is greased up, grab the cap for the cover. Smack it on. All right, and while we're here, we're gonna put our covers back in place. Just gonna push our push pins back in. All right, now we can put our sway bar bracket back in place. Put that up there and thread in our 14mm bolts that we took out. All right, and we can grab our impact and tighten them down. Now we're going to put our sway bar link back into our knuckle. Grab our 17mm nut we took off and tighten that down. All right, now we're gonna put our bolt back in for our lower strut mount. You will see it's not lined up perfectly. If you need to, just get a pry bar, just maneuver it around. And then also, if you need to, grab a hammer, just tap it in. All right, we can put our flat washer and our nut on our backside. All right, then we're gonna grab our impact with our 19mm socket and a 19mm wrench and tighten it down. All right, we're gonna put our tie rod back in our knuckle. Put our castle nut back on with our 19mm socket. Line up our holes for our cotter pin and either reinstall or replace. Once it's through, just bend the ends back around so it locks it in place. All right, now you just repeat all those steps on the other side. All right, now we're gonna put our skid plate back in place and then reinstall our 4 12mm bolts. All right, now before starting the rear, what you're gonna wanna do is support the rear axle with pole jacks while the vehicle is in the air. All right, now in the rear, we're gonna start with taking off the e-brake cable bracket on the side, just one 12mm bolt holding it onto the leaf spring. All right, now we're gonna take off our top shock mount. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a 14mm ratcheting wrench and a 5mm wrench to hold the top. Take off our nut, our washer, and then our top bushing. All right, now we're gonna take out our lower shock bolt. It's a 17mm head and 17mm nut. Take off the nut and the washer. Pop the bolt out. All right, and you can take your whole shock out. All right, now we're gonna take our bolts out for our mounts for our leaf springs. So we're gonna take this lower bolt out. We're gonna just loosen this one up. And then we're also gonna take the front bolt out. So they're all 19mm hardware. So 19mm ratchet and wrench. All right, we're just gonna loosen this one. All right, now we can take the front bolt out. All right, now we're gonna take our nuts off for our U-bolts. So they are 19mm, so we're gonna grab our impact and the 19mm socket. All right, then we just pop our U-bolts off and our bump stop. All right, now we're gonna move our leaf spring out through the front. Just squeeze it in between the axle and the e-brake cable. All right, once you get that out, you can just repeat the same thing for the other side. All right, now when reinstalling the new leaf spring pack, just to take note, you will see this lower spring that does curve up over the mounting point. It only does it on the front side, so just know that this is the front. All right, now on the rear of the leaf springs, we just have to swap over our bracket. So this is the one that we loosened earlier. So we're just gonna take our nut and bolt off. All right, then put our washer and our nut. Now you will notice that I did put the bolt going the other way. It was currently installed in the wrong direction and the bolt was actually digging into our frame. So you just want to make sure that the head is on the inside of the vehicle. All right, we're going to install our leaf springs just the same way we took it out. Just fish it up through over the axle. Just make sure that when you do go put it in, this pin right here is going to lock in on the top of the axle here. All right, so now we're gonna get our front in location. You may need to use a pry bar just to get everything lined up. But once it is, get your bolt, slide it through. If you need to, get a hammer, just give it a little tap. And put your washer and nut on the back inside. And then we can get our rear mount in. All right, now to get our rear bracket into place, you will see it is nowhere near close. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower our pole jack just to get everything in location. All right, and once it is lined up, I'll put our bolt through. And then our flat washer and nut on the inside. All right, now you just repeat those same steps on the other side. All right, now we're gonna put our bump stop on our new leaf spring pack. We can put our new U-bolts over. And then we're gonna reuse our factory bracket and then use our new supplied hardware. All right, we're gonna put on our factory bracket. All right, then we're gonna put on our supplied hardware. We have our flat washer and our locking nut. All right, now we're gonna grab our impact in a 22mm socket and tighten our nuts down. All right, you can do the same thing and tighten down the other side U-bolts. All right, now we're gonna go through and tighten all of our leaf spring bolts. We're gonna start with the front. Once again, 19mm hardware. All right, and we can move to the back. All right, now we're gonna tighten our rear. As you can see here, you can see the gouge in the metal. That's what happens if you put this bolt backwards. So we're gonna start at the bottom, and then we'll tighten the top. All right, you do the same thing for the other side. All right, now we're gonna put our bracket on, and as you can see, it will not go over this bolt here. So what we're gonna need to do is we're just gonna need to ream this hole a little bit. We're gonna use a 25/64 drill bit and just open the hole up a little bit. All right, so we're gonna take a ratchet with a 17mm socket and just take off this nut. All right, slide our bracket over and then reinstall our nut. All right, now we're gonna install our new rear shock. We're gonna get our plate and our one bushing. You'll see this one raised ridge that goes up. We're gonna slide that up into place. Then we're gonna get our lower mount in place and install our lower bolt. All right, then we're gonna put your flat washer and nut on, and we can tighten them down with a 17mm ratchet and wrench. All right, now what you want to do is you're going to put the other side shock in just the same as we did at the bottom, mount that up. Now what we need to do is we need to put weight on vehicle for the top shock mount because there just wasn't enough threads protruding out. So we got our tires back on, got the weight on the vehicle so we can install our top bushing and mount. All right, now we're going to put our second rubber bushing on. Let's see, you raise the edge down, our washer. All right, now if you need to, you might need a second set of hands just to squish this bushing down and so that we can start the nut. All right, then we're gonna take our 14mm ratcheting wrench and tighten that down. All right, you do the same thing for the other side. All right, and that wraps up our install of our Rough Country 3.5-inch Series 2 bolt-on suspension lift kit with M1 monotube shocks and rear leaf springs for our 2005 to 2023 four-wheel drive Tacoma. And remember, for everything Tacoma, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.